As you said, we're driving a lot of sand areas and mud areas, and this is what this Ironman treads are for. Thank you also for the client's inquiry regarding these. When you're driving off-road and you're driving in thick sand or thick mud and you get yourself stuck, or you're stuck and you can't get out, you can use the Ironman treads either as a shovel to get some sand out of there, and you can place these under your wheels and you can use it to get yourself out of that sticky situation. And Tiens at Namib Off-Road Center in Walvis Bay is going to share some four-wheel drive and off-roading tips in the dunes.
Dune driving is not just something you go and you do as a quick and easy treat for yourself. It's something you think about before you go, some planning you need to do. So yeah, let's go through a few steps and just make sure that that everybody is safe when they go into the dunes. For one thing, especially on this east weather, we've got the winds that's blowing from the east, and this builds up the dunes and it makes them actually quite dangerous to go out, because the dune can grow up to 1 meter overnight, and that point that it makes is sometimes very soft and it catches out a lot of people. So let's just have a look at the things that's really required when you go into the dunes. Number one, I would say, make sure that you don't go alone, that you've got a proper guide that will take you in. Some people know how to do it, so if you have a friend that do it regularly, yes, you can go with him, but be always careful and make sure that you don't land in a situation where you catch yourself out. When driving on the dunes, when you're more than one person, make sure that you keep a good distance between yourself. Try to stay in the tracks of the person in front of you. The reason is just being that we don't want too many tracks in the dunes. One must always remember that we are in a park and that you need to remain within the rules of the park. And the park actually says that you can't go off-road driving without proper approval. So we get that approval to go and do some trips into the dunes, and we just need to make sure that we stay within that regulation that they give us. When you're going up the dune, make sure that you've got a good distance away from the person in front of you, especially when you go down the dune, and you know that dune going down is sometimes quite steep, and it may be that the person in front of you gets stuck somewhere. So always try to remain far enough, and if you have a spotter or somebody that can tell you yes, that it's clear and free to go, then you can. Then during your trip in the dunes, please be careful not to drive onto the open plains. The reason is just we don't want tracks to lie there for the next 100 years. Something when you go down the dunes, just take care of going down. You must remember that you need to keep your vehicle rolling. Especially this portion close to the Kuisep River. This portion is part of the Topnaars historical, or they still stay there, but they've got a huge long history in there, and much of their people has been buried along the river and inside the dunes. And when you travel there, always be careful not to overstep their boundaries, let's call it that, by damaging the grave sites or any artifacts that may be there.
Yes, thank you Tiens for sharing some tips and on off-road and dune driving. From my side and Ironman 4x4 Namibia side, I just want to thank all our customers and all the viewers for supporting us and for supporting the Ironman 4x4 brand. We're very proud of it, we love it. We also love Namibia, and I want to encourage all our supporters and viewers, when you're off-roading, when you're going dune driving, please do it responsibly and stay safe.